Good morning. Salam alaikum. Everyone, we're getting ready to get started here. If you could please grab your breakfast and take a seat. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. I just want to give you a few announcements before we get started. You're here today for our Friends Over 50 program. Welcome to Al-Hijrah. If it's your first time here, special welcome to you. Thanks for being here for this program. I want to remind you that this is every Thursday morning. Next Thursday, the 26th, very special Friends Over 50 session, very special session. We're partnering with our friends at Prevention of Blindness Society. The speaker will be an ophthalmologist who's going to talk about how your eyes age and some of the things that you can do to deal with aging eyes and macular degeneration. And then after our regular session and after the speaker, in the library from noon to 3, you can get free glaucoma screenings with the ophthalmologist, and also free reading glasses will be available. So if you need reading glasses to help you, you can get those for free from Prevention of Blindness Society next Thursday. Doesn't matter if you have insurance, there's no need to prove any income. You're just welcome to come, and that's available for you. So please mark your calendars, share this news with your friends, and invite them to come. All are welcome to all programs at Al-Hijrah, but especially next week for this special session. So I just want to make you aware of that. Also, a reminder, our community health days have restarted every Saturday. Every Saturday from noon to 3 in the Social Services Building, you can get a free blood pressure and sugar check, wellness check with one of our volunteer health practitioners, and then a referral for primary care, even if you're uninsured or undocumented. Okay? And that is this Saturday and every Saturday from noon to 3. All right? If you didn't sign in at the table in the back, please sign in. We need that count just to help us plan for the program and the food and all of those good things. And also a reminder, today there's a second sign-in sheet going around for our speaker who is from AARP today. They also need a count. That sign-in sheet asks for your email address, but you do not need to give the email address. If you don't have one, that's not a problem. But please just sign your name on that sheet. Okay? Our speaker today is Martin Bailey. He's a volunteer with AARP, and our topic today is identity theft and fraud, and touching on avoiding scams, especially as you age. So I'm going to turn it over to Martin, and if you'll enjoy your presentation, and at the end, if you have any questions, he'll be happy to take those. Okay? All right.
Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Everybody good? Okay, today we want to talk about identity theft and fraud. Identity theft is a fraud, but it is the only fraud that is a federal crime. Okay, a lot of your other frauds are not federal crimes. Identity theft is a federal crime, and Congress passed by law that is a federal crime. To commit identity theft is a federal crime. Second thing on identity theft, what we want to do is we want to define identity theft, what it is. We want to go over the types of identity theft. A lot of people think, identity theft is someone just stole my identity. Well, someone did steal your identity, but there's a whole lot more to stealing a person's identity than just identity. Okay, the impact of identity theft, again, financially it impacts you, but it'll also impact you emotionally, socially, and mentally. The other one is how to avoid becoming a victim. So what we're going to do is just go over some techniques to help you avoid becoming a victim of identity theft. And by avoiding becoming a victim of identity theft, you also avoid becoming a victim of a scam. And then the last thing we want to cover, if you are in fact a victim of identity theft, how you can regain your identity back. Now, one of the things we look at is what is identity theft? Identity theft is the fraudulent taking of a piece of personal identifiable information, or PII. Now, personal identifiable information, what is that? Your name, your address, your phone number, your email address. These are all things that I can take and I can connect them back to you as a person. That's PII. Now, the stuff that I just named is stuff that's already out there. People can get that without a problem. There's other PII things that people get. Social Security numbers, Medicare numbers, passport numbers, driver's license numbers. These numbers can be obtained also, though. Not as easily, but I can obtain them. Now, if you go back for a second and look at the web that we have, If you go on the web, you have first part of the web, which is about the first 4%, is called a public web. You go on there and find out information. Who was Abraham Lincoln? You know, what is the Second Amendment? What is the United States Constitution? Information. The next, about 93%, is where you need a password or a PIN. You do your transactions. You do your banking transactions, your Amazon.com transactions. You buy stuff off there. You pay bills on there. That's that 93% there. The last 4% is called the dark web. That is where people buy and sell stolen information. Okay, so you have that dark web out there, so social security numbers out there, driver's license are out there. For $1, I can buy somebody's social security number. For $30 to $35, I can buy a complete package, which will have a social security number, a driver's license number, may have a passport number on it. So I can buy a complete package on a person for about $30 to $35. So you can see the web is a very critical thing that we have to look at whenever we search stuff. One of the things you have, if you have a social security card, and if you had the social security card issued between 1946 and 1972, if you look at it, it says not for identification. The United States government never meant that social security number to be an identification for you. That was strictly meant for tax purposes. But today, it has become identification. In fact, it is the prime identification for a person. Last year, you had more social security numbers stolen than you had credit card numbers. And when we talk about identity theft, the reason why it's so important is somebody's identity is compromised every 2 seconds. So somebody loses part of their identity every 2 seconds in the world. Last year, you had 16.7 million people had their identity compromised. And that cost $16.8 billion. Now, that's how much it just costs, like scams and stuff. How much does it cost to regain your identity back? Probably between $1,300 and $1,400. Anywhere from 100 to 200 hours. It can take up to 6 months to gain it back. Okay, so that's how bad identity theft is, and also how rampant it is, too. Now, the types of identity theft. Okay, you have the old accounts. These are accounts that you already have. They're your credit card accounts that you've been using, your bank accounts that you've been using, your investment accounts you've been using. Any accounts that you already have out there that have a social or have a PIN or password that you've been using for a while, they're out there. If I can steal your credit card number, I can start charging on your credit card. Now, you may not find out about that for maybe a month, because every month you get a monthly statement. Same thing with your banking and your investments. You'll get monthly statements. Make sure you look at those statements. If there's something wrong with that statement, call the provider up. Call who issues that card up immediately. Okay? So it's the most common scam to run, and it's also easiest to find out. The next one is new accounts. On the new accounts, a lot of times you get something in the mail saying you've been pre-approved for a credit card. Or you get an email saying you've been pre-approved for a credit card. If I can hack that, or if you forget to shred that envelope, or that letter with the pre-approved approval, I can scam you. I can write it out, make it for myself, and establish a new account. The question is, how long will it take somebody to find out about that? It can take at least maybe up to a year, because it may not go on your credit statement. You may not see it until it hits your credit report, which is usually an annual credit report most people get. So that could last about a year. Next one is tax identity theft. Tax identity theft, now this is one of the scams that are going on. I file taxes for you. You file your taxes. The IRS comes back and says, hey, you've already filed. Well, you haven't. I filed for you. Okay, that's the scam. So the IRS basically tells you you've had identity theft. So for the next 7 years, you will receive a letter from the IRS which will have an identification protection PIN on it that you have to use now to file your income tax. Okay, so that's one of the things that is going on now is the IRS scam on that one there. Also, at the bottom of this one here, you see the IRS, Social Security, and Medicare will not contact you either by phone, by email, or knock on your door. Okay? They will not threaten you, and they will not demand immediate payment. A lot of scammers will demand immediate payment when they sit there and say, okay, fine, pay by gift card, or pay by cashier's check, or pay by wire. No. The government will not do that. The only way the government will contact you is by mail. And I called up the IRS and I found out from the IRS that If you do not answer that letter within a certain amount of time, they will put a lien against your property, and then all of a sudden you won't be able to do things. You'll contact the IRS that way. So they will get with you, but they will not call you, they will not email you, and they will not knock on your door. Okay, medical identity theft. I consider medical identity theft probably the most dangerous one because it can impact your health. If I'm able to get your Medicare card or a medical insurance card that you have, and I use it to get a treatment, and say I get my blood tested, and they change the blood type in your record to B negative, and if you get in an accident, say a little bit later, and you need an immediate transfusion, they're going to look on that record and say, well, you can take B negative, which if you take B negative is okay, but if you take A positive, you now have a big problem. Because when they put different blood types in you, that can cause death. Okay, so medical, I consider the most important one. Take all your medical insurance cards, your Medicare card, or anything like that, and treat that just like a Social Security card or a credit card. Make sure you protect that. Also, you'll find out future treatments. Your insurer may come back and say, hey, you've already been treated for this disease or whatever. Or if you try to get life insurance, they may come back and say, no, you have a pre-existing condition, and you don't. Okay? When you get your bills from your medical provider, look to see if all the doctors are on it are correct, the processes are correct, make sure that everything on that bill is correct. If it is not, call the doctor or the hospital up and start complaining about it. Employment identity. Employment identity means that I'm trying to get a job, but my background is so bad that no one's going to hire me. So I steal somebody's identity, I use that for employment, they do a background check, I pass the background check, and you may not find out that your identity is stolen until either the IRS or Social Security notifies you about your wages, or the IRS, of course, will ask for more taxes from you. So you may not find out about that particular scam for a while. Okay, child identity. Nobody is immune from identity. And we'll find out everybody can have their identity stolen. Child, 1986 law says if you claim a child on your taxes, you have to have a Social Security number. Okay? Today, the hospitals must automatically give your child a Social Security number. If a scammer gets that Social Security number, they can actually open up a credit account for that child. Okay, they use that, but a fake name, fake age, and they've got a credit going. Okay? You may not know about that until either you receive bills from a creditor in your child's name, or your child applies for college, wants a loan, and all of a sudden they have bad credit. And everybody's sitting there, he doesn't have credit at all. So that's the bad one here. Senior identity theft. The reason why they class senior identity theft as different is because the amount of time it takes us to recoup our losses. If I had an identity theft done on me today, I may only have 10 or 20 years to recoup my losses. If a young man, say 20 years old, has identity theft done on him, he may have 50 or 60 years to recoup his losses. So that's the big thing there. One of the things at our age group, okay, my age group especially, is when we were brought up, we were always brought up to be kind, to always trust authority, to never hang up the phone, okay? Everything I'm going to tell you today is going to go against that. You do not trust anybody unless they can properly be identified. If somebody calls you up and it's a scammer, just hang the phone up. Don't even engage with them, okay? So we were taught that. When I was a child, boy, you hang that phone up, my mother get on me. Can't do that. Got to be nice. So you always had to be nice to people. But it's something because of our age and the way we were brought up, it goes against that now. Criminal identity theft, similar to employment identity theft, but this one here, a criminal takes that ID, and if he's stopped by the police or law enforcement, he uses that ID. If the police run his record, you'll find out he's clean. Or if they arrest him, they'll let him have bail because he's got basically a clean record. Okay? So that's a criminal identity theft there. And I'll give you an example of that later on. Okay, synthetic identity theft, this is probably the most hardest one to find out about. What they will do is they will take a piece of real information, and then they will take bogus information and build up an account. Credit card companies, this is about 80% of the new accounts that are established today are synthetic. Credit card companies don't necessarily, are very hard pressed to find these. These things can last anywhere from 6 months to 5 years. So I can have that account going for like 5 years before anybody even figures out where I'm at. Okay, so that's synthetic. Estate identity, like I said, no one's immune. So when you pass away, scammers will look at the obits and they'll find out, what did you do? Can I get any of your benefits? Where did you bank at? Can I get your money from you? How can I scam you even though you've passed away? What can I do to get that money? What's recommended is you take somebody and you assign them the responsibility when you pass away, take the death certificates, and immediately call up all your investment or all your financial institutions, your banks, your credit cards, investments, and stuff like that. Call them up and let them know that you've passed away. Okay? Any questions so far on anything? No, we're good? Okay. Okay, different impacts, financial impacts. Okay, what you have, and this is just a more common one. If I can scam you, I can take your bank account. I can take your retirement account. I can get a second mortgage on your home. I can even sell your home out from under you. There's so many things you can do if I have that particular information on the financial side. Employment, Lucky Whitehead. Anybody here like football, American football? Okay, Lucky Whitehead, okay, one hand, good. Lucky Whitehead was a football player for Dallas Cowboys. He got picked up for shoplifting, was arrested by Prince William County Police, was released, and then they put out had a bond sentence, a jury thing, okay, a court date. He did not meet his court date. And what happened was Dallas Cowboys, because he did not meet his court date, Dallas fired him. Okay? Comes out that was not Lucky Whitehead. That was the guy who's got Lucky Whitehead's identification. And the Prince William County Police said it was perfect. He had the license number, social security number, name, birthday, everything for Lucky. And unfortunately, Lucky now is no longer a football player. But that's just an example of employment. Okay. Emotional impact. When you have your identity stolen, what happens is you cannot reach out and say a person stole your identity. You don't know. You don't know who stole your identity or how it was stolen or what happened. If I telephone you and I do a telephone scam, you're talking to a person. If I email you, you know a person's on that other end of the email. But if I do an identity theft, you don't know. And that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. And then what happens is you start worrying about your family's financial and your financials. So there's a lot of worry, a lot of stress there. And come to find out that about 8% of the people that had identity theft start becoming suicidal because of everything that's happening. Okay, physical impact. All of a sudden, you start having a bad back, bad shoulder, headaches. Your eyes can't function. Okay, you start getting all these different physical things start happening to you. Some of the things that I like are you can't go to work, missed work, or lost employment. You can't go to work because you're sick, but you never had these things before. You missed work because you're trying to regain your identity back. And you lost employment because you're just not focused anymore. Your boss says, hey, you know, you're not focused. You just can't use you anymore. Okay, social tool. How many people have a Facebook account or a social account? Okay. What you have to do is you have to watch out on Facebook. If I steal your identity, now those people that do not have a Facebook account, okay, if I steal your identity, I'll make one up for you. And I can post on it stuff that you may not want posted. And what will happen is, or what can happen is, it may put your job at risk because your boss looks on it and says, whoa, that's unacceptable. It may put your reputation at risk. Your friends all of a sudden look at you and say, whoa, you got stuff on there that isn't right. Okay? And your personal relationships, the 12% of the people that had identity theft have problems with their marriages and their personal relationships after the identity theft. Okay, now we're going to get into ways of how to help you prevent identity theft. Okay, what do we do that leave us open? You get a telephone call, you answer it. Okay, do you engage? Okay, do you say hello and you start talking to the person? The person's trying to scam you. Okay, if the person's trying to scam you, hang the phone up. Okay, failure to lock your car. You leave personal items in your car, make sure it's locked. In fact, better yet, don't leave personal items in your car. Respond to unsolicited email, and we'll go over what's on an email. Okay, but if it's unsolicited, you don't know who sent it to you, don't respond to it. Using the same password on more than one account. Not securing your phones, your computers and stuff with passwords. And we'll go over, instead of a password, to use a passphrase, and I'll show that to you later on. Okay, so these are the ways we keep ourselves vulnerable. Okay, let's look what's in our wallet and our purses. Okay, Social Security card. There's no need to carry a Social Security card if you have one. There's no need to carry passwords or PIN numbers with you. Okay, passports. If you have to carry a passport or green card, go ahead and carry it. If you do not have to carry it, don't. Okay, your birth certificates, debit cards, things like that, you don't have to carry that. In fact, we'll go over debit card later on. We recommend just leaving that one at home. Credit cards, you really only need one credit card with you unless you know you're going to shop in more than one place that takes their own credit card. So you only really need one. Medicare card, same thing on your insurance, medical insurance cards. This is a controversial item here. What I recommend is you don't need that Medicare card. And people have said, yes, we do. I said, no, you don't. If you're going to the doctor today, take your card. If you know you're going to get treated today, take your card. Other than that, if you have an emergency and you go to the emergency room in the hospital, there's only two types of hospitals that will not treat you. Shriners Crippled Children and military. Every other hospital, if they accept Medicare, they will treat you. And that's 1986 law. They will treat you. I think we hit everything on that one there. Boom. Okay, some low-tech tips. If you have a mailbox, can you lock the mailbox? Do not leave any personal information in a car, especially if I can see it. Monitor and verify all your accounts. So when you get that monthly statement, again, look through it and make sure that everything's on there, that is correct. Okay? Check and monitor all your credit reports. The website down there will give you the website to get your annual credit reports. Now you go there, your credit reports are free. You can get them free one time a year. What we recommend is, instead of getting all three of them at one time, is to space them out throughout the year. And that way there you get a snapshot of what is happening, every 3 or 4 months instead of just at one time. Okay, if you have a credit card, place either a freeze or a fraud alert on your credit card. Okay? They also, last year, it used to be it cost $10 to put a freeze on it and then $10 to take the freeze off. The government said, no, not anymore. It's now free. So I can freeze my accounts for free. I can take the freeze off of them for free. Same thing with the fraud alert. What the credit card companies do now is they have what's called a lock. They'll let you lock the account. One credit card company charges immediately for the lock. The other two wait a while, and then they start charging later on. Okay? The only thing is, when you put a lock on your card, you're dealing with a credit company, and they can change anytime they want to. Freeze and fraud, you're dealing with the government. Okay, and they're pretty well set on what they're going to be doing on that one there. Okay? On a lock, you can get an app that will release it immediately. On a freeze, if you call the credit company up, 1 hour, they have to release it. If you give them a letter, 3 days. And fraud is similar the same way. Now, if by any chance you have identity theft done on you, you can get what's called an extended fraud, which lasts for 7 years, but you need a police report to get that. Okay? Unsolicited credit card offers, we talked about those. The website down there and the phone number. If you get those cards or the unsolicited card numbers or card things like that, you can either call them up or email them and let them know to stop. I did that. I've not got a card since then. My son did not. He gets a card maybe once or twice a week. Okay, so that one, though, I can tell you that one works. At least it does for me. Use a credit card and not a debt card. Okay, everybody has a credit card. Does anybody have a debt card? A debt card? Okay. A debt card is what the bank issues you, and that connects directly to your savings account and your checking account. All right? If I get your debt card, you can say goodbye to your savings account and your checking account. because I'll take all your money from you. And the institution you bank with may or may not protect you on that. So you got to call up the institution on how much they'll charge you. Credit card, $50 is max that you'll have to pay on that one there. So we recommend you use a credit card for your shopping. Always use a credit card. If you have a debt card, basically leave it at home, lock it away, and only use that in just when you have to use that. Okay, on credit card, and this is an old one here. On your credit card, you always put down ask for ID. When I was traveling a lot, I'd always put down ask for ID. You check in a hotel, they always get your driver's license and stuff like that. Yes, ma'am. You have a question? Green card. Yeah. Okay, green card, take it with you. Keep that with you. Yeah, because what happens is they prove that you're here legally. Okay, you either have a passport, you have a green card, you have something that proves that you're here legally. That's the thing there. I don't have to carry that. Okay, I don't have I don't have a green card. I don't have to carry my passport. Okay, but if you do, definitely make sure you have that with you. Okay. Again, on the phone calls, you hang up. Do not engage. One of the things they'll tell you, if you don't want any more calls, press 1. As soon as you press 1, you have told the guys at the other end of the line, hey, you're a live human being. We can call you as many times as we want. Okay? So do not press any buttons. Just hang the phone up. Okay, some high-tip ones. If you want to, and I'd recommend this, establish online accounts for all your utility bills, your banking, everything like that. Every one of them will have an online account that you can pay your bills online. That allows you not to get papers through the mail. So they no longer have to steal, go through your mailbox and try to steal your paper. Do it online. If you use Wi-Fi, if you go to, say, Starbucks or something, you got your laptop or whatever, you're using Wi-Fi, remember, they're not secure. Most of the hotels do not have secure Wi-Fi. Most of the establishments around here that say, hey, free Wi-Fi, they're not secure. If you want to use Wi-Fi and you want it secured, you have to get from your provider what's called a VPN or a virtual protective network. Okay? That costs a few more dollars, but if you do a lot of transactions on the outside, you'll want that. Okay, we talk about passwords. When you log on your computer, you have a password. Okay? Most passwords are something to do with your name, your significant other's names, maybe your birthday, something that is fairly reasonable and that a scammer can probably get to without a problem. Okay, what we recommend is to do what's called a passphrase. Okay, now, in this case here, I got down, I love my dashing dogs. So if I put that down from my banking account, I love my dashing dogs, that's going to take somebody about 23 million years to break. I'm probably pretty safe on that one. If you start using exclamation points and capital letters and stuff like that, it takes 7 quadrillion years to break. And quadrillion is the 7 with 15 zeros behind it. So, and if you want to, if you go on the internet, put how secure is my password and put down your password to see how long it would take somebody to break it. Make sure if you have a cell phone, if you have a tablet, if you have a computer, that you have the latest software on it that's antivirus, anti-malware, things like that. And make sure you have it on there and make sure it's up to date. A lot of companies will automatically update that for you. They'll send you something through the mail you see pop up on your screen. We have an update. Do you want to do it now or leave your computer on? Don't turn it off. We'll update it when you go to bed. When you cruise the websites, look on the top of the site. You'll see a little lock or an HTTPS. That means it's a secure site. If you do not see that, recommend you get off that site. It's not secure. Anything that says download or click on this icon. You'll get a lot of emails that say click on the icon. No, do not click on the icon. It's going to download malware or download something on your computer that's going to take over your computer. So you don't want to do that. And never put any personal information on the internet or on any type of social media. When Facebook first came out, I put my birthday on it, and then I decided, hey, I want to take my birthday off of it. I went into Facebook to try to get my birthday off. I couldn't get my birthday off of it. So what I did is I changed my birthday. Now I'm born in 1900. So you could do that, but they won't let you take it off. So no, again, nothing on Facebook. People that do not have a Facebook account, and I've run into it a couple times, you say you're not on Facebook. Okay, question. Do you have children or friends? Have they taken any pictures of you? Have they posted them on Facebook? And have they identified you on Facebook? Okay, if they have, you're now on Facebook. Okay? Okay, phishing. Now these are the things that we talk about as far as emails especially. You'll get an email that says, "My dear valued customer." The reason why I'm calling you my dear valued customer is because, one, I don't know your name. I sent out about 5,000 of these today. Okay, so you're my dear valued customer. Next one is going to say, something urgent is required of you. Okay? You have to do something's urgently required. You have to respond to this email. You have to do something. You have to call a phone number, click on the icon. You have to do something that's urgent. And it contains threats. If you don't do it, your Social Security number will be suspended. Your medical numbers will be suspended. Something bad is going to happen to you. So what they're doing now, if you look at it, they're starting to get you to think emotionally instead of logically. Okay? If you look at the email address, it's one you do not recognize. And it's not from, if it says, this is a Microsoft thing, it's not from Microsoft, it's somebody else. And if you look on the very back end of it, a lot of times it will have like .ru or .something. If it has .ru, it's from Russia. If it has .hk, it's from Hong Kong. So if it has sometimes it will tell you what country it's from. A lot of times it will include poor grammar. Okay, somebody's just writing it up, and there's no grammar, no syntax, no nothing on there. It will say, click on this URL. If you click on it, it takes you to some place where you don't want to go. If you want to find out about it, you right-click on it, and it will tell you exactly where it's going to. If it includes attachments, it's going to ask you to click on the attachments. Do not click on the attachments because it's going to download either malware or take over your computer, hijack your computer, and then you have to pay ransom to get your computer back. And it may request information that the sender should already have. So if Medicare calls you up or Social Security or IRS calls you up and says, "We need your Social Security number," no, you don't. You issued me my Social Security number. You don't need it. Okay? And that's some of the scams that are going on where they try to ask the information that they should already have. Okay, you have that book in your bag, real good book, and what that does, it starts giving you the way the con artists think. And what they do is they put it under the ether. And what I try to do is I try to get you to think logically, or I try to get you to think emotionally and not logically. I get you upset in some way. I press a button in some way. I say, "Hey, I have a family member here that we've got in jail." Okay, all of a sudden you're upset. Why is your family member in jail? Or, "Hey, I'm from Social Security and we're going to suspend your Social Security number. We're not going to give you benefits anymore, or Medicare benefits, or wherever you're getting benefits from. I'm not going to do that." So what they're doing is they're threatening you, and then all of a sudden you start thinking emotionally instead of logically. Once I get you thinking emotionally, I tell you, okay, this is what you have to do, and you have to do it now. Not tomorrow, now. You have to do it now. I want you to go out now and get either gift cards or wire me money or do something. And when I ask for gift cards, you know it's a scam. If I ask for your wire money, cashier's check, it's probably a scam. The only problem is when you do any of those three, your money's gone. Now, the gift card companies that actually do the gift cards, you might be able to call them up and you might be able to do something, but probably not. Okay? But anyway, so that's the thing there. If they ask for payment in any of those three ways, you know it's a scam, and they want it done automatically, they want it done immediately, and they want it done now. Okay, some ideas on a scam. Phantom riches. You just won the lottery. Okay, I got $7 million I'm ready to give you. All you have to do, okay, so there's your phantom riches. You've won the lottery. Okay? Phantom riches. I invite you to a free lunch. Come to the free lunch, and what we're going to do is we're going to sell you investments, we're going to sell you property, we're going to sell you something. Okay? And now, how did I know to invite you to the free lunch? Because I profiled you. What you received probably a couple of weeks ago was a letter saying, "Hey, we've got a free lunch going in this area here. I have tickets available. Just fill out this little survey and send it to me." Well, it's non-information. Your name, your address, how much do you make a year, things like that. Nothing really important. How much you make a year is important. I've tried it. Filled out a survey. If I put down $10,000, I never get a ticket. I don't know why. I never get a ticket. If I put down $250,000, I not only get a ticket for me, I get one for my wife, and I get 2 other ones for friends. Okay? So what they're doing, they're profiling you. They're looking to see, do they want to scam you? Are you worth scamming? And as soon as you walk in the door, they know you. They've already got some information on you. Okay, source credibility. This is, how can you trust me? Well, I'm selling you oil wells. And I've sold oil wells. My family has sold oil. In fact, before the United States was even populated, when the Indians were coming down from Alaska, we sold them oil wells. We were already in Texas. Okay? So you know I've got credibility there. Social conscious. I will not sell you something that I don't believe in. I've sold my mother and my grandmother these oil wells. I've sold all my people, okay? So you get this thing where you've got the social conscious. You sell it to your friends. You've been in it for a long time. And the guaranteed riches, the fam thing, I guarantee you it's going to make so much money a day. Guarantee. As soon as you hear a guarantee, scratch it off. It's probably a scam. Reciprocity. I have to leave today in about 2 hours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh my fee. I'm going to let you have it without paying me a fee. You can have it 20% cheaper, but you got to get it today. So I'm doing you a favor. I'm giving you 20% cheaper. Scarcity, a lot of times what will happen is somewhere in the presentation, the guy's going to get a phone call. And it's going to be from his buddy who had just sold 100 of these oil wells or 100 something. And now all of a sudden these things are becoming scarce. So you better get them now because you may not have them tomorrow. You may not be able to think about them. Get them now. Okay? Plus I'm giving you that 20% discount. And then intimidation, this is where sometimes it's used, sometimes it isn't. This is where, I gave you a free lunch. I did all this stuff for you. At least you can do is buy something from me. Okay? They may try to make you feel guilty. Okay? So these are a lot of things, and most scams are run like this. Okay? Even though we say different scams, most of them you're going to find out are being run like this. Okay, signs of trouble. I think we went over most of these unauthorized transactions on your statements. Erroneous bills. If you get a bill through the mail and you have no idea what it is for or anything else, okay, stuff like that. Stop getting bills that you expect. If you have a gas bill that comes in every month, then all of a sudden you don't get a gas bill. What happened to my gas bill? Or electric, or utility bills especially. Because what the scammers will do is they'll take that and they'll use your address. Because I've got to prove that I live at that house. So if I have a utility bill that says I live there, I'm good as gold. Okay? So watch out for bills that you expect that you don't start or you stop receiving. Medical things we talked about, erroneous accounts. If all of a sudden you get an increase in mail, so say I get an increase from Ferrari or Lamborghini or Rolls-Royce, why would they be contacting me? Chances are somebody bought one of those things in my name. Okay? So if you get something direct mail from people that you don't even, no reason to get direct mail from, chances are you may have a problem. You may not be able to find out what the problem is, but it puts an antenna up that you may have an issue there. Authentication alert. A lot of transactions now, if you go to your credit card company, I know for my credit card company, my bank, and my investments, I'll log on, they'll say, how do you want your authentication sent to you, by text or by cell phone? And what they will do is they will send me an authentication code. Now what's nice about that is if you're at lunch and all of a sudden you get an authentication code and you're not on your computer, you know somebody's trying to scam you. You know somebody's trying to break into your account. Okay? So they do have that out. A lot of companies, they either have them or they're starting to get them right now. If for some reason, okay, the great website, identitytheft.gov, Federal Trade Commission, okay? These are websites you definitely want to look at as the Federal Trade Commission. If for some reason your identity is stolen, you go to the Federal Trade Commission site, and they have a step-by-step way to help you get your identification back. If you look in your folder, you have something, a big thing from Federal Trade Commission, identity theft. That's the printout. It's like a 40-page thing, but that tells you how to get your identity back, or helps you get your identity back. Okay? So that's very important. The Federal Trade Commission also has a lot of great information as far as scams and stuff out there. Well, I recommend you go to that one there. AARP Fraud Watch. has some good information. That's the same thing, identity theft, boom. Our AAP Fraud Watch has some good information on it about scams and everything like that. Your Better Business Bureau, Federal Trade Commission, Better Business Bureau, AARP, the Adjutant General's Office. They will put out scam alerts if you registered with them. They will put out scam alerts. In fact, I got this last week. This is about the hurricane that they just had. They're starting to scam people for the hurricane. Okay, a charity scam. But the Attorney General's office will put out stuff like that. Okay, any questions? Nothing? We're done. Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, do I know? Oh, do me a favor. Make sure you signed in, okay? And make sure most important thing you need. Most important thing you need is the bag. You definitely need the bag. Who had the question? Okay, I'll get you a second. Okay, if you check your credit, okay, it should not affect your credit, your score, okay? If somebody checks your credit, you want to apply for a car, and they check it, that may affect your score, but it will only affect it for a few months, okay? And what they're looking for is that credit score, and if you've got like a 700 or 800, then you don't have to worry about it, because you've got a real high credit score. It should not affect it, no, because I've checked my credit, and it's not affecting my score at all. Yeah. Plus, there's a couple companies out there that will monthly or whenever you pay your credit card will check your score, and they will send you an email and say, here's your credit score, and that does not affect my credit score at all. Okay. Yes, ma'am. That's a problem. There's nothing really we can do about it. I mean, if we want to do business with that organization. Like I just did business with one of my athletic organizations, and they want my security number. They want my security number every year, or my social security number every year. You had it last year. You don't need it again. But if you want to do the business with them, you have to do that. The question is, how secure are they? The only thing you can do on that is talk to the manager and say, I don't want the employee taking my picture, or taking the picture there. You can talk, bump it up to management and see what they say. But yeah, something like that is sort of like, you're stuck as far as these are the people you want to do business with. This is their process. And if you don't like the process, you can, again, kick it up. You can put it up and see if anything happened there. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't like to give anything out that I don't have to. But I agree with you on that one. So, same thing if you go to the doctor's office. It used to be the doctor would want your social security number. Well, if you had a Medicare card, I was already on there. Social security number was already on that Medicare card. Well, now they changed it. But the doctors haven't changed their forms. They still want a social security number. I don't put a social security number. You don't need my social security number. The doctor, they always ask for it. What the doctor does, think about this. Does this doctor ever use the social security number when he was examining you? No. Does the social security number connect, today does the social security number connect with medical insurance? No. Social security number connects if you don't pay, then I can go after you through your social security number. That's all it is. So every doctor I've went to, no, I do not provide my social security number. And I've never been denied treatment. Because I've got a medical card, I've got in my case here, I've got Medicare, I've got that, and the secondary insurance, they don't question that. And I've never provided a social security number. No, I don't. If you want to, you can ask your doctor, why do you use a social security number? And then say, how secure is it? And you'll see most of them just have locked filing cabinets, which is not secure at all. Yeah, no, I don't provide it. I don't provide mine. I don't think you do. I've never provided for mine. I've several. Unfortunately, at my age, I go to several doctors now, but no, I've never provided it. They have to keep that for a certain amount of time for tax purposes and everything. So yeah, they have to keep that. And as far as being secure, again, there's nothing nothing we really can do about it. It's up to the company how secure it is. Now we did we did some projects where usually your HR people get the security number. Well, we were getting security numbers. I'm in operations. I'm in logistics. But we had to have the social security numbers for certain things. So what we would do is we would take them, we'd get them, we'd use them, and we'd turn them over to HR. We said, we don't want anything to do with them. But they had to give them to us, which is, again, not good. Not good. Yes, ma'am. Federal Trade Commission, I would give them the call first, okay? And they at least can point you in the right direction on who can investigate it. A lot of times, and another thing what I would recommend is if you know something happened, is to start filling out a report, okay? Start taking down what happened, okay? One of the questions was if your identity is stolen, what do you do with it? And you go to the Federal Trade Commission is the big one. And the other thing, what I would recommend is you start filling out, on a piece of paper, exactly what happened. And the reason why you want to do that is so when you do report it to the police, you can go down step by step what happened.
Yeah, but the police didn't really care.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. That's a problem. A lot of times, some police don't investigate it, and you just report it to the wrong organization, but they don't tell you. Okay? So at least go to Federal Trade Commission. Fairfax County has a scam office, because I know I've worked with them. They have a scam thing. Fairfax County does. They've got somebody that handles fraud. Federal Trade Commission, Better Business Bureau. Federal Trade Commission seems to be the big one, though. They seem to be the best one so far. Okay. The comment there was she got a debit card that could be used everywhere, and all she wanted was a bank card, right, on a machine. That's all she wanted there, and they did that for her. Oh, do me a favor, before you leave, please fill out the participant sheet. There, they should be. Yeah, they should be in the back. I think I put them in the identity theft booklet, because when I was packing the thing, I just put everything together. Thank you. Any other questions? No. I want to thank you all for being here today. Where's oh, thank you. Okay.